My next guests are a power couple. Hadn't had them on the show in a long time, but they are fantastic. Last time they're in season 3 of Black Love, and when I had them on, season 1 had premiered, and it was to great numbers. They're the creators of the popular series Black Love that airs on the OWN network to great numbers. In season 3, like I stated earlier, the goal is to become the hub for Black couples and singles looking to build community and conversation around healthy relationships at every stage of life. Please welcome back to Money Making Conversation my favorite couple, Codie and Tommy Oliver.
Hello.
Hello, your favorite couple?
Absolutely.
We'll take it.
You got to, because y'all doing what so many people have said is a problem in the Black community. Not understanding relationships amongst each other, not communicating with each other. And it also, I don't know, are you helping define what Black relationships can be? And when I say that, I mean, they can be so many different levels. And so and sometimes, I come from a traditional Black family, from the South. My mom didn't work. She stayed at home. And a lot of African Americans my age have that experience like that. But technology has changed so many things. So the experience of what Black love is being communicated differently to so many people. And that's why you're my favorite, Tommy. Codie, my favorite couple.
That is incredibly kind, and we appreciate that a lot.
Absolutely. Tell me what's going on. Season 3, brother. Come on now.
Season 3? Who told you there was a season 3?
Yeah, you seem to have the scoop.
Well, I'm going to have the scoop now. I'm going to have some information, but the thing about it is you guys created this project, which I think is really, let's go back to it getting started, when it first started, because it was just an idea. And it was a concept where you called on favors to get people to reveal themselves in an emotional manner as a couple, and then it aired, and voila.
Right. So we,
not quite that simple, but
it felt like voila.
Well, it was voila. Come on, Tommy.
Once it aired,
Hollywood's magic. You know that.
A lot happened for several years before it aired. But yeah, we certainly called on favors in terms of relationships with friends and friends of friends and parents of friends to sit down and have honest conversations. And Tommy and I have kept it just the 4 of us in a room, me, him, and the couple.
Right.
So there's no gaffer, there's no PA, there's no,
publicist.
There's the 4 of us. Tommy does all the production, and I just ask the question. And so we keep it really intimate, and we've tried to maintain that through season 1, season 2, and what's to come. And
you know what? I think you may have inspired us. I think we should probably make an announcement sometime today.
Here's the deal, Tommy. You inspire me. Okay, we're going to talk about a little bit about the things that you guys do outside of Black love, because of the fact that this is so important, because of the fact that Black people, we're an interesting group of people. We're interesting people. We don't talk about situations when it comes to health issues. We don't, we the last to talk about mental issues. We don't want to definitely want to talk about any sexual issues. Okay. And so we live in this little box world of bad information, and so, and that bad information really doesn't help, because guess what? If passing along bad information leads to more ignorance. And so socially and emotionally within our community, we live in a box of lies, I believe.
right.
And your show, I feel, starts to peel back the truth and allow people to be honest. That's why I'm fans, because of the fact that
Thank you.
It's an idea that only you two could have thought of, because of the fact that it was derived through a trail of emotions, through an idea that this is the truth and this is what's really happening, and we want to reveal it. That's why when I watch an episode, it's really intimate to me. And I see them sitting real close to each other on the sofa. Nobody's worried about the shirt being buttoned up right or the pants tucked too tight. They just, I've been going, okay, they could have fixed that shirt right there. But this is the moment. I'm being a producer. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Trust me, sometimes I'm thinking it too, but I'm also like, you know what? I don't want to stop.
Right.
What's happening right now? I don't want to stop someone from sharing something by making them self-conscious.
And so much of it is, like Codie said, it's the four of us in a room.
Right.
And so when you're sitting down with your friends or with your marriage mentors, if you are fortunate enough to have them, and somebody's shirt is hat tucked in, you're not going to be like, "Yo, bro, what's up with your shirt?"
Right. Because it will break the moment, because it's just about our story about how we should look. You feel me?
Right.
And that's
Yes.
what
Yes.
I feel that stops communication within our black families, and that's why when I look at the show, and when you first came on the show, and they sent me some tape to review the show and really get a clear understanding of the show, my big takeaway was thank you for allowing us to talk. And what in hearing me speak like this, what has been the most satisfying takeaway for you guys with your show?
I think it's been twofold. One, there's a sense of selfishness. And so we started the show because there were a couple of reasons, but one was because we didn't have the examples that we felt we needed in order to be properly equipped and to be able to have a marriage that can sustain. And so we wanted to talk to people who had done it. And so I think we've learned a lot. And we're still struggling and working through things, but having gone through these couples and these interviews and this experience has certainly given us tools that helps us day to day. But beyond that, like you said, the idea of there are two things. We don't see ourselves, or before this, we hadn't seen ourselves much in the right way. We were always miscategorized or misrepresented on TV or on social media. But we knew, sort of like privately, we knew that there were couples that made it work. We knew that, there was a neighbor across the street, or that, couple from the church or whatever it may have been, but they just never got any shine. And so we wanted to be able to show people, no, we are out there as happy, loving couples. And then we wanted to be able to normalize this understanding of marriage and how things actually work, which is very different than if you take your cues from TV or film.
Now, when you say, when I was reading some of your credits, it was saying the goal is to become the hub, which means that you want to be a creative content of black couples and singles looking to build community and conversation around healthy relationships at every stage of life. Explain that, man. Explain that format.
So with Black Love, the series that is on OWN, we're able to show couples, married couples, making it work and what that requires, right? But one of the things that we notice is that in order to have a healthy, happy relationship, a lot of the times the relationships of your past, and not, boyfriends, girlfriends exclusively, but your parents, your siblings, your best friends, those relationships being fractured, those relationships having trauma, those relationships being uncomfortable, or as you mentioned, not talking about what's real, play a role in your marriage. Right. Because they play a role in your expectations and how you operate in your patterns. And so we actually launched blacklove.com to expand the conversation past marriage. We felt like it was important to keep talking about marriage and partnership, but also to talk about those other, tenets of one's life and how important it is when we're trying to build a relationship for decades, to make sure that those other areas are healthy as well.
Because one of the absolute best things you can do to give your relationship a real shot at making it is being the best you can be.
Yep. And so another extension of that is actually coming up really soon. So we have done several live events, right? We'll take one of our couples or two of our couples and we'll go to different cities and we do 2 hours. We have a conversation. We show clips from the show. We've done it with Kirk Franklin and Tammy in Dallas. We've done it with Taj and Eddie George in Chicago. We went to Atlanta with Tamia and Grant Hill. And then I think it was Tommy that had the idea that we do a full day. And so we did a full day in LA last year in October of conversations around relationships. And we were able to get even more specific than the show. And because there were, I don't know how many conversations that day, let's say 10 panel conversations with couples and then 500 people there, you're able to ask questions. You're able to say, hey, this is my issue. Can somebody, A, tell me I'm not alone, and B, help me out? And so it was really fun. And now we're doing it in Atlanta.
It's called the Black Love Summit.
It's called the Black Love Summit. It's a full day of conversations in Atlanta on July 20th.
Wow. I mean, you got to get a lot of stuff. You got to give me some banners. You got to give me.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot.
You know, because you got to put Rushion to work. You know, he comes to my town. I got to promote. I got to use my social media because I just don't invite my friends on the show and go, okay, bye, good luck. No, we're here to sell tickets. This is money making conversations.
Well, but it speaks to where this began, asking about wanting us wanting to be the hub, us wanting to facilitate all the ways in which people consume what they need. And so sometimes people want to watch a TV show. Sometimes it'll be on social media. Sometimes it'll be a live event. And for us, it's trying to figure out how we can strengthen the Black community and put us in a better place to be in happy, long, loving relationships. And so it's sort of however we can do that, we will.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're doing it, and I hear it very clean. First of all, you both are you're producers, you're directors, your EPs. So it wasn't like you guys got, a lot of people picture these TV shows and don't have the history that you two have to be able to pull this off. Like you said, you're the only two people in the room. How many people, that's just not just a regular person walking in there. You have the resume, or being able to say, this is what I do for a living. And so now, what is, I know we've got 1 minute left in this break, but set up exactly where they can go, July 20th, Atlanta, Georgia, where they can go to get tickets and where is the location?
blacklove.com/summit. Again, Black Love Summit in Atlanta on July 20th. Tickets are pretty cheap. Come on, go get them. Come tell us how we're doing. We've announced several couples, Egypt Sherrod, Mike Jackson, Kevin and Melissa Fredericks. People know him as Kev on stage. We have another big announcement coming tomorrow.
Erica and Warren Campbell
are giving a keynote. We're having an amazing luncheon by Gernard Wells, the chef of love.
That's my man. Chef my man. Come on now.
I know. Come through, Rushion.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I will definitely do that. But first of all, let's promote it. So definitely give me all these banners. When you make that announcement of that next guest, please send that banner so I can make it on my social media. I got almost 1 million followers. We cross all platforms. We'll be back with more of my favorite power couple, Codie and Tommy Oliver. Hi, this is Rushion McDonald, and you're listening to Money Making Conversations. This is a show that I started just as a promotional tool 2 years ago, just to promote my brand. I would call my friends. They would come on the show and didn't really know what I was talking about, didn't have a point of view. And then after 4 weeks turned into 3 months, 3 months turned into a year, and a year turned into 2 years. And one of the great couples that I had on my show in that first year was Codie and Tommy Oliver. Reason I say they're a great couple because there's a passion that drives their success, a commitment to to storytelling. And a lot of people don't understand when I say storytelling. Storytelling is not so much about how you look or what you say, but it really is about what you say. And it always has a beginning, middle, and end. And it's an honest conversation. And that's what they do with their series that airs on OWN Network. Now they have a summit that's coming to Atlanta, Georgia, July 20th. I will be in town because I'll be coming back from Orlando, Florida. And I will be dropping by. And I also will be promoting. We talk real fast about it. Let's slow it down. Tell everybody about the summit that's coming to Atlanta, July 20th.
So, we have the Black Love Summit that we are hosting in Atlanta, or that Atlanta is hosting for us. We're super excited to just make it a part of the city. And we are bringing several of our couples from the series and having conversations all day long around healthy relationships. Everything from dating for depth to being married and juggling the parenting grind. Couples and coins, Rushion. How couples manage their finances, get on the same page. We're going to have a conversation about the term submission, what that means in a marriage. Does it apply to you? Does it not? We are doing a panel of all husbands, 5 men talking about what it means to be a husband, and 5 women doing a panel of wives. And then we have a very cool event that we just added because our friend and partner, Jeff Johnson, Cousin Jeff, as many people call him.
Out of Baltimore. I know Jeff.
The father of 5. Yeah, he is the homie and just a cool, smart, thoughtful, caring dad who cares about. I'm gonna throw it to Tommy, the resident dad up in here.
So we are developing a really cool podcast, which hasn't been announced yet, but we're going to do a live recording of the podcast as one of the events.
Called.
So Tommy, you about to get a podcast? That's what you're about to say. Podcast. You making an announcement on Money Making Conversations? That's what you're saying?
You know what? That will be one of 2 announcements we make today on your show.
On your show. Make sure you tell us when there's like 1 minute left, and we're going to give you the juice for sure.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it was a couple of things that you said about the series. If I can get a little tease detail, you talked about submissions when you talk about the role. And I'm assuming that the role of the wife or the role of the man when it comes to submission. Can you give us a little more detail? Because I'm trying to build that momentum. Get everybody to go, yeah, that's me. I'm there to tell. I'm there to talk about it.
Here's the thing that's interesting, right? Is that it means different things to different people.
Yes.
I mean, when you think about biblically, when you think about what people talk about in their house or in the church, and maybe it's antiquated, like maybe it's an old term. That's what we want to talk about. But when you think of it that way, you know, it's about the wife submitting to her husband. And a lot of people look at that term, that word, that sentence and go, well, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And some people are like, well, that is what women do in a marriage, and there's a reason for it. And so we actually, Dondre Whitfield is going to talk about this with us.
My man.
Mike
oh, you guys are great people on here. Dante can talk. We can talk.
For sure. And so we are not taking a stance as much as discussing what does it mean in your marriage. And then a lot of times we have single people in the audience. Like, what do you think of it? Are you looking to do that? Are you looking not to?
What's interesting about it, it usually provokes a reaction one way or another.
Yes.
And you'll talk about it and like, what? I'm not doing that.
Right.
Like, well, you know it anyway.
Right.
Because let me say, can I say this too? From our show, from our experience as married people, from conversations that we have, there's no one way. So we're not here to say, none of these conversations are, this is what you must do to have a happy, healthy marriage.
No,
right?
They're not prescriptive in that way.
Right. But we are taking ideas, right? You mentioned that a certain generation, you know, the mom or the wife stays home and takes care of the kids and cooks, and the husband goes, you know, as we change from generation to generation, what do we need to change about our relationship?
So, for example, I haven't thought about this until just now when we're talking about submission. Is if I were to answer what submission is for me in my marriage, it's the idea of a phrase that I've said before. In marriage, as the guy, you can be right or you can be happy. Choose one. And so for me, that's a level of submitting to the marriage,
right.
Putting the marriage above what you may naturally want or do, to be right. And so that's what submission is.
So you're saying, Tommy, there are times where you are actually right? And, you know, and you submit to being wrong.
Absolutely. But it does not matter. It does not matter.
I love it. This is absolutely true. I don't care what race you are. That happens. That's universal.
Exactly.
That's universal. Hispanic, Asian. Hey, we all give in, ladies. We give in. We give in. But we're smarter. But we're smarter. Hey, Tommy, public comment say we smarter. But we will give in. Hey, Tommy, you know,
I'm going to just let you two have that.
Absolutely got to, because I'm about to go into a quick conversation about the other thing, that nugget that you said was about the role of the husband, his role, and you're gonna have 5 men on stage talking about that.
Yep.
And I want to turn to Tommy and talk about that a little bit and give us some wisdom terminologies that's going to come out of that session.
So this will be our second time doing this. We did it last year at the first summit, and this will be the second time. And it's really the sort of conversations that, you know, you sometimes get when you've got just guys hanging out, you know, guys who are married. Different. So it's not, you know, out looking for women. It's guys who are out and who are committed. And so the conversations that happen privately about what it takes to actually make this thing work. And there are things that we need to do differently. And there are things that our women are doing, or guys, are just driving us crazy. And so part of it is, how do we deal with those things? How do we make sure that we are the best possible partner in all of what that looks like? And so it could be 100 different things, or it could be something as simple as making sure you still give your partner the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
There's so many times where as time goes on, you become short and snappy, and the things that didn't bother you in the beginning, now all of a sudden it's like World War III. Mm-hmm. But if your best friend were to do it, oh, it's fine. She was just 10 minutes late. Yet if your spouse shows up 10 minutes late, it's like, who do you think you are? You're so disrespectful, and I couldn't believe you left me waiting here for 10 minutes. Right. It's like
let me hang it.
It's like, and so just those sorts of things. And also, we as men, we need other men to talk to.
Right.
We need other men to talk to who are going to keep us accountable and not just be like, well, yeah, she's crazy.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Tommy, because I would tell you, though, I never share my my relationship with any of my friends. It's kind of like we talk sports, we talk food, we talk sports. Mm-hmm. And so that's my conversation with my boys now. We want to know anything else. We got problems. Why are you asking? And so cutting through that mystery that you're doing in this panel, I think is really, really good. And like I said, this is a passion project that I love talking to you two about, because it started with love. It's gonna be built on love, and it's gonna be, you guys are gonna become content creators, content builders, hoarders of this information, and distributors of this information. And I think that's amazing that you've been able to find this level of balance in your personal life and your professional life in something that's a passion-driven project that can make money.
Rushion, we didn't say we had any balance in our personal life.
What'd you say?
I said we didn't say we have any balance in our personal life.
You don't have no balance? You do have balance.
We have 3 kids. We have 3 kids under 3.
I'm going to tell you something. You're talking to me on this radio show right now, this podcast, that's balance. Because them kids somewhere else, somebody else taking care of. I know what balance is. I got a kid, okay? When they ain't in there interfering with my life, that is balance. So somebody's taking care of. That's the balance I'm talking about. But I know we have 2 minutes left, and I wanted to Tommy comment a little bit on Flint, Michigan, and what's going on there. If you can update us on what's going on up there, I really appreciate it. It made the news real big, and all of a sudden it just dropped off. What exactly is going up there? If you can help us out a little bit before we wrap up the interview, because I need 1 minute left for you guys to give me the dramatic tease.
Yes.
So we are doing a project called Flint, and really talented writer-director named Malcolm Mays is directing it, and we partner with Overbrook on it, and we're shooting it in Flint. And it's a story where it's not about the Flint water crisis, but the Flint water crisis is the backdrop. And as such, we wanted to try to continue to make sure that people are thinking about it and pushing the narrative, because they are still struggling out there, and people just, it's out of sight, out of mind. And so as such, where the movie's going to be shot in Flint, we're going to use Flint artists, and for us, that was the only thing that we were ever going to do. And so we don't have dates set yet, but we'll probably shoot either later this year or maybe the top of next year. But we're still figuring out everything, and we got some really awesome talent on board, and it's a meaningful and really cool project.
Awesome. All right, then. Codie, you got 45 seconds. Give me that big tease on season 3.
Okay, so you alluded to it. Season 3 of Black Love will return
August 10th.
Yes!
And
you heard it here first.
You did. Yes! You heard it here first, Rushion, Mike.
I'm putting that on banners. I'm creating banners. August 10th, July 20th, the Black Love Summit in Atlanta, Georgia. August 10th on the OWN network, the season 3 premiere of Black Love.
Woo!
I know how to promote, girl. My favorite couple. Keep winning now. I'm going to see y'all on July 20th.